Warning. This is going to be a very positive review. Okay! Oh my gosh, we're finally up to this movie. I have to say, out of all the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I only have a few favorite shows and movies, right? In previous, in the past, that has been Winter Soldier and Daredevil, my two most favorite characters in the whole MCU, and my favorite show or movie, when I'm, talking about them. But this has got to be up there with them. And not because, this movie is... Yeah, movie, sorry, I thought it was a show. Jeez, my mind. Anyway, this is nowhere near as serious or dramatic as Daredevil or Captain America, the Winter Soldier. And yet I love it just as much as them. I love this movie, but I also it's very memorable. Like when I think of the MCU, this is one of the movies that pop up when I think of some of the MCU's best movies or shows. This is what always one of the things that always comes up. Sorry, I'm droning on. Anyway, I know exactly why I love it. Okay, and this is why. This movie is a high school movie. Yes, it focuses on a kid who just so happens to be a superhero. That's how the movie feels when I'm watching it. But it is a high school movie. And the other Spider-Man movies, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, were fantastic. The first two were. But they never actually quite achieved it feeling like a high school movie. It never... I don't think that was their intention. But Spider-Man has always been a kid, I guess. I mean, I don't know anything about the comic version, but I know about the movie version, and this one, I know I like it because... I know why I like it, and that's because it focuses on him in high school. It is a high school movie, and I love it because of that. And Marvel said that this is what the movie was going to be like. And I was surprised that, they actually achieved it. Marvel have said that they're gonna make this movie and that show feel like this or be like this and take inspiration from that and la-di-da-di-da. And on a couple occasions, actually more than a few, I've been disappointed. It's a couple of movies in the MCU I've watched and been like, it doesn't feel like what you were saying it was gonna be like. This one achieved everything it wanted to be, and I'm so glad it did. But now I'm going to swap over to the villain for this movie. The villain was great. I like Michael Keaton in pretty much anything. Beetlejuice, Batman, Birdman. That's weird. Spotlight. I'm just naming off movies that I love him in. He's a fantastic actor, and I like him in this movie. The villain, I have to say, is not one of Marvel's best, but I will say... it is a lot better than all of Marvel's huge list of bad villains. Marvel only have a small list of really, really good villains. I'm happy to finally say that Marvel's villains are getting better. I'm just happy to say that. I mean, this villain works because he doesn't really have any personal ties to Peter Parker. But what he is he has a life. He has a family to look after, right? And that makes him relatable. And it's great because it's done by the villain is acted by a great actor that I've loved ever since I was a kid because of Batman. And I love the villain even more because they did him well and gave him a relatable story. Alright, so there is this one thing that I noticed over time. I never really noticed it the first couple times I watched it, and I watched this movie a ton. And I think because of that, I've realized that for me, this movie doesn't feel like it takes place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Maybe that's because Sony and Marvel created this movie together, so Sony's input may have had an effect on that, I don't know. But for me... I know that this movie does take place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because Iron Man shows up a bunch of times, right? I mean, we even get Happy in it from time to time. We get Pepper, we get a shout out to Vision. a look at Spider-Man's new suit. I mean, we got everything we need to remember that this is taking place in the MCU. Yet for me, it doesn't feel like it takes place in the MCU. This movie is so grounded because it focuses on Peter in high school. That's one reason why it's like that. But also the villain. Focuses on everything that is on the ground. It focuses so much on this stuff that for me, well, not for me, in general, it is a very street level movie. For me, I was like, over time I realized, I was like, hey, this kind of feels like Daredevil in a way. It's like, I know that you got all those other characters like the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy out there, but it just felt completely separate, this movie. And I don't know, that's just for me why I love it so much. I mean, if you're going in to watch this, then you sort of have to watch a couple Marvel Cinematic Universe movies just to know what's going on at the beginning. But overall, you don't really need to. Anyway, that's my review for Spider-Man Homecoming. I love it. 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 I said this review was going to be positive. I freaking love this movie because it relates to me, because I'm pretty much the same age as him. And I can't stop talking about it. Oh my gosh. Just leave me be, okay? Just go.